what do a green onions, what does a cauliflower, tomatoes, parsley, avocado, and lemon all have in common? Welcome to Elegantly Raw. Hi, and welcome to Elegantly Raw. I am so glad to have you here today. We are actually going on a little quick trip today to Costa Rica. Why? Because Costa Rica is where we have a permaculture farm that we're visiting. So let's go and let's bring in Karen. Karen, please bring the food up to... Please keep it there. Thank you. So what we see here is a cauliflower, green onions being scallions, tomatoes, parsley, avocado, and lemon. Karen, what are we making today? Karen, please come on, unmute yourself and let us know what you're making today. And that's her son, Marco, there. Go ahead, Karen.
So excited to be with you. Today, we are going to be making raw vegan cauliflower tabouleh, one of my favorite dishes.
Excellent. Let's start then. Go right for it. Thank you.
Okay, so I am going to start with the cauliflower.
Beautiful.
And cauliflower makes a fantastic rice. And so what I have done is I have chopped my cauliflower into bite-sized pieces.
Could you bring it a little higher for me, please? Thank you. Lovely. Perfect. Thank you. It looks splendid.
Yes, I chopped a medium cauliflower. And I am going to put it into the food processor by itself. One medium cauliflower chopped into bite-sized pieces. And next, I am going to process the cauliflower by itself. Here we go. You don't want to process it too much, because then it turns into mashed potatoes, and we want a rice texture. So here it is.
Beautiful, beautiful view of this. Bring it over to your left a little bit, please. A little bit to your left. Beautiful, stunning. So this is the cauliflower rice that you just made for the tabouleh.
Yes.
Lovely, thank you.
Yes, and now I am going to spoon it into a large bowl.
So behind you right now is your son, Marco. So, hi, Marco. So, Karen, you raised Marco to be a raw vegan child and a raw vegan grown-up, did you not?
I did. Grew up in my home, and Marco, the first 3 years of his life, he had asthma and chronic ear infections. And that's what helped me decide to go to raw food. Plus, I had cystic acne. I had cystic acne for over 25 years. And then I decided to go to a raw food diet to help both of us to heal from our health conditions.
Okay, continue with the recipe in the meantime while we speak, please. Thank you. So could you show the audience what it looks like in the bowl, please?
So here is the cauliflower as a rice in the bowl. Can you see it?
Absolutely gorgeous image. Thank you.
And next, I am going to take the parsley, which I'm going to chop coarsely. And I'm going to put that into the food processor next. So I'm going to chop it coarsely, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And then I'm going to put it into the food processor.
So while you're doing that, just explain. So how old was Marco when you decided that you were all going to go raw vegan, and what was the response of his father, and how did you decide what to do about that?
Marco was 3 years old, and we were vegans. We were vegans, and I decided that we were going to try a raw vegan lifestyle. My husband at that time was not very happy about it because it was totally different for him. Even though we were vegan, it was very different going to raw food. Over the years, he became more and more supportive. When he saw especially that Marco was able to heal from the asthma and chronic ear infections in about 10 to 11 months of being a raw vegan.
Lovely. Go ahead and keep going with the recipe, please.
So here's the chopped parsley. I'm putting that into the food processor. That was one whole bunch of chopped parsley. And then you can either use one large tomato or some chopped cherry tomatoes. I used about, 3/4 to 1 cup of tomato chopped. So I'm putting that in the food processor. And then I put 2 large stems of scallion, which is green onion, that I chopped. 2 large stems, or if you have smaller stems, you could put 3. And I'm putting that into the food processor.
And behind that, I saw avocados. Was that avocados?
Yes. And then 1 whole avocado. So you're going to peel it and put in the flesh of the avocado into the food processor, along with the scallion, tomato, and parsley. So I still have a couple I just need to quickly peel and throw them in.
Do you use the food processor a lot?
I do use the food processor a lot. It's a great main meal way of using just one pot. When we were vegan, I used to like to make soups in one pot. And as a raw vegan, that transferred over to the food processor as a one pot meal. So I like to make a lot of meals in the food processor with just a few ingredients to make it very digestible. Also, I use a lemon here in Costa Rica. We don't have exactly a lemon. It's called a mandarina. So if you can see the mandarina, it's kind of lemony limey. It's sort of in between a lemon and a lime.
Can you show us the flesh? Beautiful. Thanks, Marco. Yes, that's perfect. Wow. It looks very juicy and very succulent.
Yes, extremely juicy and succulent. I really love them. And I'm going to take a reamer. I like to juice them with a reamer. It's just quicker than using a citrus juicer when you're making a dish like this in a one pot meal. So I already took the seeds out. These fruits have wonderful seeds in them, but I don't want the seeds in there. So I took those out, and I'm looking for more as I juice them. I see one. Okay. And I'm just going to continue to juice right over the food processor so that we are going to have this nice blend when we're finished. And this is the sauce that goes into the cauliflower and makes the tabouli really tasty. And I'm going to juice the second part. And then when I blend it, I'm not going to blend it all the way down or process it all the way down. I'm going to keep it a little chunky.
And that's important to know.
Yes.
Okay,
And
time to get some movement going now. Great.
yes, and you can try it both ways. If you like it more smooth, you could blend it more. I like it a little chunky because I want to see the tomato and the parsley. I like to see the specks of it.
Likewise, I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I'm going to pulse instead of process. So I'm going to push on the pulse button. And then I'm going to open the food processor and I'm going to check. I always scrape down the sides. And then I will process it one more time to get all of those remaining pieces. Okay, that is perfect. And I hope you can see this beautiful blend.
Yes. Yes, we can.
Okay, now I'm going to take that and I am going to spoon it out into my cauliflower.
So we have there the avocado would be the fat for that, and then the lemon and lime would be salty and also a little bit of astringency and a little bit of tart.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So this is a no oil and no salt recipe. Is this correct?
Yes, and I love this so much, and so many of my students have loved this that they tell me that they don't even feel that they need the oil and the salt because it's so flavorful just as it is.
Tomatoes also have a lot of sodium in them as well, so they help add that salty flavor without any refined or unnatural salt, which is, the sodium in tomatoes are naturally in the food. So instead of refining it, it's nature's package of sodium, which your body is ready to assimilate and use in a really useful way.
Excellent, excellent. And we are going to be looking at the tabouli all mixed up in a moment, because this is one of the many ways in which you can make tabouli, but to me, it's one of the quickest ways to make a tabouli. And some people usually ask, how long can this last? I don't understand why people ask how long something can last, and I think it's a leftover from the cooked world, where people are used to making a lot of things. But if it's raw, usually you don't overdo for one thing, and then you usually eat it right away. But have you ever kept it in the fridge for more than a day?
Yes, I have kept it in the fridge for up to 3 days and still had it be really fresh and tasty.
Okay, important for people to know this. Great, thanks.
And it's just so quick to do the tabouli this way. Sometimes when I have a long day, but I want something very satisfying and satiating, I will make this. It literally takes me like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes tops.
Excellent. So why don't we just serve it now, because we have something else that we need to make in a moment, right?
Yes. So I'm just mixing the sauce in with the cauliflower, and it's almost all coated now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like.
So can you, while you're mixing it, can you bring it up so that the audience can see what it is that you're mixing, please?
Yes.
Great.
Pretty well mixed now.
Love it. Yeah. And that looks exactly like tabouli.
It really does. And it really is, other than that the cauliflower replaces the bulgur wheat. Most of the other ingredients are in a lot of the taboulis that we see. So
except for the avocado. Avocados usually are not in there. They usually put
right.
olive oil, so the avocado would replace that
Yes.
raw dish.
Yes.
Lovely.
The avocado replaces the oil beautifully.
Yes, excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, so there's one dish. And then the other is my favorite dressing. And I love this dressing so much. I would say I have it at least twice a week with my salad. I like variety, so I like to switch. But this one is so quick and easy that it's really a go-to recipe for me. And so I thought others would like it too. It is my creamy pistachio dressing. And I'm going to bring the ingredients over.
And while you're doing that, I will just let people know that we're going to be having pistachio, orange, lime, celery, and dill in this recipe.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. So first, pistachio.
Raw pistachios.
Raw, unsalted pistachios, about 1/3 cup.
Could you bring it up higher, please? Perfect. Thank you. Lovely. Now, it's hard for me. I don't know about you, but maybe in Costa Rica it's different. It's hard to find truly raw pistachios. A lot of people say it's raw and it's not raw. Is that easier in Costa Rica? You can go ahead and do what you're doing.
Yeah, there are some places here where you can get them really raw. There is a place in San Jose where I bought a very pretty large bag. I don't remember how many pounds of them there were, but truly raw unsalted pistachio. Then we're going to put in the juice of 1 orange. The juice of 1 lime.
And what's that called again?
So here in Costa Rica, it's mandarina.
Mandarina acidico, which basically means an acidic mandarin, because there's sweet mandarins as well. So it's basically an acidic mandarin, which is the lemon replacement here in Costa Rica.
And so it's like a cross between a lemon and a lime or an orange?
Yes.
Yeah, more closely related to a lemon, but like kind of in a mandarin format. That's why it almost looks like an orange or a mandarin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Karen, please.
Okay, then I'm going to put in 2 stalks of celery. And here's celery.
Excellent.
Okay. And I'm going to add dill today. Now, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just the pistachio, the orange, the lime, and the celery. But today, I'm going to add, because I have a beautiful dill, a beautiful fresh dill. And dill is an excellent herb. It's been called a natural antibiotic.
Lovely.
So for anybody who isn't well, dill is amazing. But for everybody anyway. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and I have my blender here, and this is just a regular blender because you can do this in any blender. You don't have to have a high-powered blender to do this recipe.
No, that's novel and that's exciting, because the problem with bringing on raw chefs here is that we always need to have a powerful everything and something that's specific. Go ahead, please keep going. What's
okay
for the raw food movement?
And so first, I'm putting in the 3rd cup of pistachios that I had soaked in water last night.
And for about how long did you soak them? Just overnight?
I soaked them overnight, drained them in the morning, and rinsed them.
Very important to rinse something when you've been soaking it.
Yes. So I am putting that 1/3 cup of pistachios into the blender. And next, I'm going to take our reamer.
Great.
And I'm going to juice the orange. Here's the orange. I'm going to juice the orange.
Drop it down a little bit, please. Thank you.
Right into the blender with the pistachios. So 1 whole orange.
So what's your favorite fruit that you found in Costa Rica so far?
Let's see. I love this fruit called Rollinia, but it's not that easy to get because it goes bad very quickly. But I've had it here right off the tree, and it tastes like lemon meringue pie on the inside. What is your favorite, Marco?
I think mine is something called mame sapote. It's a lot of people say it tastes like sweet potato pie, and it's a very filling food, and it can be a little bit difficult to get one that's really amazing here. But when you do get a really good one, it's delicious.
Same here. I don't like them here at all.
Yeah, you really have to find a good quality fruit. That's how it works though with fruit. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, so it's a little bit of each time it's a new experience. Which what is life if it was the same thing all the time? It makes it more exciting.
Yeah, mami sapotes are very, very popular in Latin America, but and also in other places in Asia. But it's very interesting because I think it's because they might be picked too green or before they're ready by the time they get here. The sun hasn't ripened it, because it tastes so much different in South America. When I was in Chile, it tastes so much different than with the ones here.
Yeah, it's very difficult to pick them because they're a very rare fruit because they stay on the tree for like a year until you ripe. So it's very difficult to know which ones are ripe and which ones are new.
That's important information, Marco. Thank you. So that you just put in the orange rock, correct?
So I just juice the orange into the blender, and then next you'll put in your juiced lime. Now, of course, I have the mandarina, and so I have taken the seeds out of it, and I'm going to use the reamer, and I'm going to juice that in.
So we want to repeat that any blender will do for this, and so people do not have to get a special expensive blender for this particular dressing, which I'm sure a lot of people are happy to hear. And I know people always want more dressings. So
Yeah.
it's not something that you can have too much of. It's different kinds of dressings. And people are always looking for something new. And I've noticed in the raw movement, pistachios are not used a lot. I happen to use them a tremendous amount, but only when I can get truly raw pistachios. And that's not very often, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, that's true. We're lucky that we were able to get some here, and I have had some good resources in the United States. Sometimes they come in the shell, and I've got to take them out of the shell.
Yes, yes.
So I juiced in the mandarina, and now I'm going to get a couple of celery stalks. So here's my celery. Okay. And I'm going to just slice off the very bottom part that wasn't so good. And I am just going to give them a quick rinse.
Now, would you use the leaves in this as well?
So I'm going to just use a little bit of the leaves because I don't want the dressing to have a bitterish taste. But there are times when I use the leaves. Some of these are beautiful leaves. I know that some people say that we shouldn't use the leaves of the celery, but I personally find them nourishing. Unless you're, using the whole thing, I'll just use a drop of them. And they actually provide some nice flavor.
They're very salty. I use celery instead of salt.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They're a great salt replacement. They're very, very salty vegetable. So here I have my chopped celery.
Great.
Okay. And I am putting that into the blender. And then last, I chopped my dill. This is about a quarter cup. Looks like more, but it's like a heaping quarter cup of fresh dill. I'm going to put that in and put on my cover. And now I'm going to blend, and I'm going to blend it until it is creamy.
So while you do that, Pauline Yee-Blenner says that she came in late and she hopes to get the recording or post it on this page to rewatch. Yes, we will definitely be giving you the recording afterwards. Will be available to you here, Pauline.
Came out beautiful.
Very smooth.
Yes, I like a nice, rich, creamy dressing. And as I said, I don't even usually put the herb in, but if you like dill or another herb, you can add it. You could also add ginger if you'd like. But I usually do just pistachio, celery, orange, and lime.
Lovely. Great, thank you. So that's the dressing.
That is the dressing.
Wonderful. So while you put everything to display, while you're doing that, I will give our audience a treat here. And you had sent me some clippings of a fruit that you recorded. You sent me a recording of a fruit. So I'm going to put that up now. So we're going to be listening to this.
Caimito, beautiful purple tropical fruit of Costa Rica with the Pacific coast in the background.
So that was that. Great. That was beautiful. And now let's have a look as well. You had taken the mame sapote and you had made a pudding out of it, which you sent me.
Here on the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, and you can see the beautiful mountains and gorgeous rainforest. And I have just made a mame banana pudding, which makes such a beautiful contrast with this beautiful Pacific coast background. And here it is. I've shown you the mame sapote, a beautiful fruit, which I have blended with banana to make this gorgeous, gorgeous pudding. A bright, beautiful orange. This is the life, to have negative ions from the mountains, the ocean, and to be eating the most delicious tropical fruit.
So Costa Rica is becoming a haven for a lot of raw vegans. And this is from Marco, sent us a little. Marco, can you explain what people are watching here? You sent us this panoramic view of your permaculture farm.
Yeah, this is the view from the farm here, probably at about 4 or 5 o'clock. As you can see, the sun is hitting the ocean and about to set soon. And in the early morning and in the time when the sun is setting, that's when the animals, especially all the birds, are the most active. So the toucans and we have these kite birds that come, and all different types of wildlife that come. They're very active during that time, so it's very special.
Lovely. So we only have 1 minute left. So Marco, could you explain what you're doing there and why you're in Costa Rica?
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for having us on. I'm so glad to be here with you and help my mom out as well, because she's been such an influence for me over my life. And as you mentioned in the beginning, I was raised raw vegan, and that had a huge imprint on me. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. And me and my partner, Maria, have come up with really to create a place where people could come and heal and come reconnect with nature. And that's something that we're kind of laying the groundwork now. And we're really excited to come on, Maria and myself, in the future and explain more about it. So it's just a really exciting time, and feel very grateful to my partner and my family, and just to be here in this moment. And
what does it mean to you, having been raised raw vegan, which was different from almost everybody else in your class or your comrades?
Well, at some points in my life, I'll be honest, it was a little bit difficult because you feel like you're different from people, which when you're younger can be a little bit difficult. But as you grow older and you're able to gain an appreciation for the opportunity and the privilege that it was to be raised raw vegan, you see it in a completely different light. So I'm just very grateful to have that opportunity and that privilege. And I'm so glad that it's taken me to where I am now. And I have this information to share with other people that are looking to heal and looking to better themselves and just live their best lives.
And could you explain what's the name of the permaculture farm that you're creating there?
Yes, the name is El Sanctuario de la Salud, which means the healing sanctuary.
And is Maria is around? We can have a quick hello to Maria before we sign off.
I think she is busy at the moment, but thank you so much. We are really looking forward to being on together in the future and really telling everybody and sharing our vision and the foundation of this place. And
being on your farm. And so we will look forward to looking at all the different fruits. Costa Rica is known to be a raw vegan haven, as I mentioned before. And what are you finding for you right now really meets your needs the most, Marco, as a person, as somebody who was raised raw vegan? What do you think? What drew you to Costa Rica? Why are you there?
Definitely the weather is a huge aspect. Being able to live in a place where I never have to put on the air conditioning or the AC is huge. And just being able to be outside in nature, breathing fresh, beautiful air, surrounded by pristine forests, getting out in the sunshine, going to the beach, going to waterfalls. The nature here is just so beautiful. And it's where we're from as humans. So it's that reconnection that's really, really important to me and really the main influence why we decided on Costa Rica as our place to live.
And Karen, you used attachment parenting in raising both your children. Could you very quickly just give a brief overview of what attachment parenting is?
Yes. So right away after, well, even during pregnancy, being present for your unborn child and eating healthy, raw foods, fresh foods from nature. And there was a study done in the Pediatric Journal in 2007 saying that women who eat an abundance of fruits and vegetables during pregnancy, that child will love fruits and vegetables for the rest of his or her life. So that's part of the attachment. But the other part is after the child is born is breastfeeding, because that's the best nourishment. There are things that we don't even know about that are in breast milk, and we keep replacing vitamins and minerals that are not in formula, but really we just need to recommend breastfeeding. And if a woman cannot breastfeed, then recommending a wet nurse, okay, somebody who is producing milk and donates. And there are breast milk sites now where women can go and purchase milk if they can't nurse. But breastfeeding will always be best. That's a very important part of attachment to your child, and holding the child against your skin for as long as possible, especially in the first hours, days, and weeks after birth. Holding the mother is so key here, holding her baby against her skin. The baby was just inside the mother for 9 full months and knows the mother, the heart, the heartbeat, the breathing. The baby knows that that's the mother, and the baby needs to be with the mother and against the skin. That's attachment. And there's been studies, there's been research done showing that babies who are given this skin to skin contact, that long term, that they have higher intelligence scores. And that makes a lot of sense, because in holding the baby against the skin, the baby feels right in the world. And there's a reduction of cortisol, the stress hormone, and an increase of oxytocin, the love hormone. There's other principles for attachment parenting that I explain in my book, Creating Healthy Children. But those are some of the key ones that I wanted to mention here.
Great, thank you. So we need to go off, but before with that, we have actually Naveen from India saying hello. Pauline, I yeah, we will have this up for you later so you can rewatch it even if you came in late. But unfortunately, we need to actually finish up now. Is there one last thing you'd like to say about living a raw vegan lifestyle as a family and why it's important to have access to clean air, water, and food?
So I can just start, and I'll let Marco finish it up. I can just start that raw vegan food has its nutrition intact. It's rich with fiber. It has all of its water available. Its fruits and vegetables are easy on the digestion. They create excellent gut bacteria. And that excellent gut bacteria leads to balanced hormones and optimal health. That's the best thing I can say about raw vegan food, is that it promotes life and it gives great immune support. And Marco, you want to talk about the other aspects?
I think you covered it. I think that's a beautiful way to end things. That was very well, briefly and succinctly done, and I agree with that 100%. And it's the same reasons why I eat lots and lots of raw food.
Thanks. And what about the clean environment?
The clean environment, of course. I mean, I think we're so far removed from our natural habitat as humans, where we came from, that reconnecting, especially during this time with everything that's going on in the world, I think that is a byproduct of our disconnection to nature. And I think reconnecting to nature means reconnecting to your health, reconnecting to who you truly are and your purpose on this planet. And it just gives you a perspective that, grounds you. And raw food has a way of contributing to that directly, because you are eating food that is coming from this earth in its raw, natural state, which has just an amazing effect on your life in a number of different ways, as my mom talked about, and just overall your well-being, your attitude, your mental state, your energy. It just has a snowball effect in so many different ways.
So Dr. David Wong says, thanks for the wonderful escape to Costa Rica. So we are running over, so we need to say goodbye. But would you bring up, please, the two items you made, the dressing and the tabouli, to the camera so we can have a long last look? That's the tabouli with cauliflower rice. Lovely, thank you. And this is the dressing, not to be confused with a smoothie.
It looks like one, but it's a very creamy, thick dressing. And it's super nourishing, and it gives you that creamy texture that you desire over your salad.
Beautiful. Thank you both so much, Marco and Karen. Wonderful to have had you here today, and we look forward to revisiting Costa Rica when the farm is ready, when the permaculture farm is ready, to talk about permaculture, to meet Maria, and to help to enlighten people and refresh our memories as to who we truly are. So many thanks to you both. And
thank you, Doreet. We love you. Thank you for your work.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Karen. And next week, I am glad to let you all know that we have somebody coming back for the third time, and that's Tanya Kay. Yes, Tanya will be back next week. So until then, everyone, thanks for joining in, and look forward to seeing you all next week. To Karen and Marco in Costa Rica, we say hola and salud.